Flynn, Chath ushers you into this small circular room, only about 10 feet in diameter. This is a room that you have not been in before, but there is just a very small circular table in front of you. There are a couple of wooden, like little tiny wooden stubs that come out of the table. Perfect distance and a perfect placement for you to place your sword. As you walk in, Chath sort of takes a step back and sort of presses his back up against the wall and instructs you to sit down in the chair at the table.
Yeah, I'll take off my backpack, take off my bow. I'll take off the sheath for my sword, set everything down kind of in the corner, and I kind of know what's coming, right, for everything in the ritual. Like, I have an idea generally.
This part, you have a general idea of what's going to happen.
Cool. I'll once everything's off, I'll unsheath my sword and take a look at it. Just like mess with the hilt, like find little pieces of ink that are still kind of left there, and I'll kind of give a smirk as I think back to all the times I would draw on this thing and practice for this moment, and look at it, clean it off a little bit, maybe flick off some of the ink flecks that are still there, and I'll walk over to the chair and sit down and put my sword on the little pegs. It seems like, if that's what I know how to do.
Yeah, so you put your sword down, and the wood pegs right there, as you put your sword down, they seem to warp just very slightly to accommodate your sword being held there, and it holds it perfectly in place. You look down and you see on the table are two sort of inset areas. And you can see it's sort of resembling an arm inset into the table.
Mm-hmm.
And you reach your arms out, and your hands perfectly fit into these little insets on the table.
Yeah, before I actually put them down, I'll just look at my forearms, I'll look at my right arm. I kind of like just move my fingers around, practicing some of the motions with my right arm that I would practice late at night when I couldn't sleep. Smile. Look at my other arm. Look at it one last time. Both of my forearms. All right. I'll look over at Chath. I'm nervous.
Hey, there's nothing to be nervous about.
I know. It's just, I'm waiting for this. Just like, I guess maybe I'm excited too. I'll place my arms in the insets.
Okay. He walks around the table and off to the other side of the room, and the stonework in this room is a little bit patchy. There are some stones that are sort of made of different materials, and one of them seems to be marble, one of them seems to be just regular stone, one of them seems to be like a dark clay. And he walks over to one of them, and it's this beautiful white stone, and he grabs it and he takes the stone out of the wall, and you can see now as he takes it out, the stone is hollowed out, and within it are these flowers within it. These flowers that seem to be neon, almost like the flowers that Shreya saw earlier.
Cool.
These neon flowers. And he lays the stone on the table. And he walks to the other side of the room and picks this light orange clay stone out of the one. You can see that one's also hollowed out. And you can see two like thin tools. One of them is sort of like a hammer, a small hammer shape. And the other one sort of has a hook on the end and has several needles into it. And he walks over and he puts that on the table. Over the next couple minutes, he takes a bowl that's on the table and crushes up the flowers into these three separate dyes. And after one of the dyes is done, he dips the needles into that dye, comes over to your forearm that's laid out onto the table, and begins to tap the needles into your skin, slowly moving it over your skin, creating this beautiful circular design. And as he finishes up on one arm, you can see this ink is very dark black, almost like absorbing the light around it, like more than natural black. And this process hurts. Each time he taps the needle into your forearm, it is painful.
How long does this take, Jeff?
This is going to take a while.
Ow. Oof. All right, keep going. Ow.
So he finishes the black on your left arm. And then he goes over to the bowls that are out there on the table, and you can see he's made a bright blue ink. And he cleans off the needles from the black, and he dips them in the blue, and he goes over to your right arm, and he begins to tap again, creating a very similar, but also with like distinctive marks, making a blue circular design on your right arm. And that takes another couple minutes.
Man, this one feels like it hurts more.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse. You just gotta hang in there.
Is the next one gonna be worse than this?
Oh, probably.
Is there anyone else in the room, or is it just me and him?
Just you and him.
Okay, I look around to make sure that no one else is in here because I don't want them to see me struggling.
It's a small room, and
Okay,
with
good.
Chathan here being the size that he is, another person probably couldn't even fit in this room if they tried.
Hey, give me a second. Let me. Hey,
Yeah, take
whenever we're
a
done-
breather.
whenever we're done with this, can you tell him that I just like tell my everyone else here that I just like I took it no problem.
Yeah, hey, I got you, man. I got you.
Thanks, Chad. You're the best. All right, ready? Okay, go. Oh God. Okay. Ow.
And he continues tapping and finishes up with the blue. And he goes back over to the bowls, and you see there's this neon red dye that he's created. And once again, he taps a very similar but unique circular design on your right arm as well. Once he's done with that, he puts all the bowls back. He puts the needles back into the clay bowl that he has. He puts the rest of the flowers that he didn't use back into the white stone and pushes them back into the walls.
Whew.
Looking around, you see that the stones that he pulled from the walls were not the only unique ones here. These walls are lined with dozens and dozens of these unique types of stones, and your mind starts to wonder what could be in them and what ritual could those be used for. But he finishes up the process, and you look down and you have 3 new tattoos on your forearms.
Yeah. Does Flynn know exactly what they do? Like,
Not yet.
not yet?
No.
All right. The hard part over?
Oh no, man. This is just getting started. And he goes over and he pulls another one. This one looks like sort of like a standard, just smooth stone. And he places it down on the table, and you can see within it there is, and on the part that's been hollowed out, you can see that there is ink and a quill and also a very thin like paintbrush. And he says, "All right, now you know what to do from here, I assume." And he steps towards the door, and as he's about to reach towards the door, he goes, oh shit, wait, one second. And he reaches up, and it's one of the taller stones. It's tall for even him. He has to reach up and sort of struggle to get this stone from out of the wall, and he places it down on the table, and you see a stack of very thin notebooks. These like very intricately bound leather notebooks, only a couple inches by a couple inches. And he looks through them, and he opens up one. No, not it. And he puts it back, and then he opens up another one. Yeah, here it is. And he puts it down on the table in front of you. And he reaches up and he puts the stone back. And he says, "All right, man, it's you from here on out." And he walks out and he opens the door. Shreya, you see this Dragonborn walk out. You see him close the door behind him. You see him put a bar over the door, and you see him lock it.
Is he going to be all right in there?
Man, I sure hope so.
Oh I hope so too now.
He seems like a good guy.
Oh my god.
And he walks down the hall and out of your sight.